You feel it, don't you? That constant chatter in your mind, that never-ending loop of worry, regret, and fear, the thoughts that whisper you're not enough, not yet, maybe never. And somewhere deep inside you're screaming for silence. You're craving peace, but the world doesn't stop. Your phone buzzes, deadlines loom, the news flashes tragedy, and you, just for a moment, wish you could pause. Just for a moment. Be free. If you're feeling that, pause this video, take a breath, and let yourself feel it. Because this is exactly why you're here. And before we go any deeper, if this resonates with you, I want you to hit that like button, comment your thoughts, share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe. Because what you're about to hear could change the way you see your mind, your life, and your tomorrow. Now, I want you to imagine something. Close your eyes. Picture a river, calm and wide, flowing quietly under the morning sun. Imagine your mind is that river. Right now, it's probably more like a storm, waves crashing, debris floating everywhere. But what if you could let it settle? What if, without trying to push anything away, you simply watched and let it quiet down? That's what ancient wisdom teaches us. That's what I want to show you today. How to silence your mind, and in that silence, find gratitude. You see, our ancestors understood something we've lost in the noise of modern life. They understood that peace isn't something you chase, it's something you uncover, like a hidden gem, buried under layers of worry, fear, and distraction. And the key? Gratitude. Real, raw, unfiltered gratitude. Not the Instagram kind, I'm thankful for my coffee and my cute dog. No, I mean deep gratitude for the fact that you're alive, that your heart beats, that you can see, hear, touch, and breathe, that you are here in this moment right now. I know it's hard to feel grateful when life is screaming at you. I know that pain, loss, failure, they feel heavy. I know the nights when you lie awake, replaying every mistake, every rejection, every regret. And here's the truth, you're not broken for feeling that. You're human. And the fact that you're still reading this, still searching for peace, still wanting something more, that's courage, that's strength. That's the part of you that refuses to give up. But here's the tricky part. Silence doesn't happen overnight. Gratitude isn't a switch you flip. It's a muscle you build every day, with patience, with intention. And here's a simple, almost magical way to start. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Not the obvious things. Dig deeper. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed. Maybe it's the memory of a hug that changed your day. Maybe it's even the pain, because pain teaches you. Pain shows you who you are when nothing else will. I remember a story, a real one. A woman named Maya. She was drowning in anxiety, working 3 jobs, trying to keep her family afloat. She told me once, I can't stop my mind. It's like a wild horse. And I said, then ride it, don't fight it. Watch it, name it. And when you can, thank it for showing up. A week later, she called me. She said something shifted. I still have my storms, but I can see the calm underneath. And I'm grateful. That's the power of gratitude. It doesn't erase pain, it transforms it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Ancient teachings, from Stoics to Buddhists, remind us that our minds are not our enemies. They are tools, like fire. Fire can cook your food or burn your house down. Your thoughts can create your life or destroy it. And the first step in mastering fire is silence. That moment when you pause, step back and say, I see you, mind, I hear you, but you do not control me. That is freedom. Think about your life for a second. How much of it has been spent chasing approval, chasing likes, money, titles, recognition? How much of it has been spent worrying about what people think instead of what you feel? Imagine what could happen if you stopped. Just for a day or an hour, just silence, no judgment, no noise. And then, in that space, gratitude begins to bloom. You notice the little things, the way sunlight hits your window, the taste of food, the laughter of someone you love, and that noticing changes everything. Let me give you a practical tool. It's called the 5 senses reset. Anytime your mind spirals, pause and name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. It's simple, ridiculous even, but it works. It pulls you out of the chaos and roots you in the present. And the present is where gratitude lives. And this is where life gets cinematic, because once you start practicing silence and gratitude, even the darkest moments begin to shine with meaning. The heartbreak that once crushed you becomes a lesson. The failure that once humiliated you becomes fuel. The uncertainty that terrified you becomes an adventure. It's not magic, it's perspective, and perspective is freedom. I know some of you watching right now are thinking, I can't. My life is too messy. My mind is too loud. I hear you. But let me tell you something. The loudest minds, the most chaotic lives, the people who feel the most unworthy, they are often the ones who unlock the deepest gratitude. Because when you've been through storms, even a little sun feels like a miracle. Even a kind word feels like gold. And that is your power. Here's another truth bomb. Silence isn't about escaping. It's about facing. Facing yourself, facing your fears, facing your mistakes, facing the parts of you you hide from the world. And when you do, when you sit with yourself without judgment, gratitude rises naturally, because you realize, through all the chaos, you survived. You're still here, and that is nothing short of extraordinary. Let me share a personal moment. I was sitting on a park bench, exhausted, anxious, feeling like I had failed at everything. And then I noticed a small bird hopping nearby, looking for crumbs. And in that moment, I felt a rush of gratitude so sudden it almost brought me to tears. Not for the bird itself, but for the fact that I was alive to see it, that my eyes could see, that my heart could feel, that my life, messy as it was, still mattered. And that tiny moment shifted everything. I want you to imagine something similar in your life. One small moment, one quiet breath, one tiny spark of gratitude, and then another, and another, because these moments compound, they grow, and before you know it, your stormy river starts to settle. Your mind starts to whisper instead of scream. Your life starts to feel full. Even in chaos, even in pain. Here's a challenge for you, right now. Pick one area of your life where negativity dominates. Could be work, could be relationships, could be your own self-talk, and for the next 7 days, write down one thing you are grateful for in that area, no matter how small, and when you do, watch carefully. Watch how your mind shifts, even imperceptibly at first. Watch how your heart opens just a little. And then, after 7 days, reflect. You'll be amazed at what you notice. And here's another truth. They didn't teach us this in school. They didn't hand us a manual for peace, for gratitude, for inner silence. We had to discover it, stumble through it, scrape our knees, cry, get angry, and finally understand. But that's exactly why it works. Because it comes from experience. Because it comes from you. Not a quote on Instagram. Not a motivational speech. You. I want you to picture yourself 6 months from now. If you take this seriously, if you practice silence, even 5 minutes a day, if you embrace gratitude, even when life feels unfair, 6 months from now your mind is calmer, your heart is softer, your life feels bigger, fuller, brighter. You're not perfect, you're human. But there's a quiet strength inside you now, a strength that can't be taken, a strength that can't be shaken. And that strength is freedom. Freedom from your own mind. Freedom from the fear of tomorrow. Freedom from the chains of comparison, regret, and self-doubt. And with freedom comes clarity. And with clarity comes action. You start seeing opportunities you missed. You start speaking words you were afraid to say. You start living life not as a reaction but as creation. You start becoming unstoppable. So, right now I want you to do something radical. I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, I see you, mind, I hear you, but I choose peace, I choose gratitude, I choose life, and mean it. Let the words resonate, let the silence around them grow, and when you open your eyes, step into that life. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because the truth is, nothing changes until you do. The world doesn't wait. The storms won't pause. But you, yes, you, can find calm. You can find gratitude. You can find yourself. And here's your final step, because motivation without action is just noise. I want you to take one thing from today's video, one practice, one thought, one moment of silence, one spark of gratitude, and act on it today. Share it in the comments. Tell me what shifted, even if it's small, because your story could be someone else's lifeline. And in sharing gratitude, we multiply it. Remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not your failures. You are the quiet witness, the river beneath the storm, the spark of life that cannot be extinguished. And when you live from that place, silence becomes powerful, gratitude becomes effortless, and life becomes extraordinary. So breathe, look around, appreciate the moment, feel the weight lift, just a little. And know, no matter what has happened, no matter what comes next, you have what it takes to be calm, to be grateful, to be alive, to be free. And that, my friend, is everything.